Hello, everyone. Good morning and welcome to Wow Wednesday. I am your host, Nancy Matthews, one of the founders of Women's Prosperity Network. Delighted to bring you this midweek boost of motivation, education, and inspiration to support you in continuously moving forward, bringing your dreams and your visions to life, and enjoying every step of the process. Today, we are delighted to bring you one of my dear friends and colleagues, Claudia Rocafort, and we're going to be talking today about conscious leadership as the new paradigm for success, which is about leading your business and your life from your zone of genius. And I'll bring her on in just a moment. Before that, I want to share with you a couple of updates in the wonderful wow world of Women's Prosperity Network. And we're kicking off the 1st of February. So I want to invite you all to do something I just did today. And that is I revisited my goals and intentions for 2023 and really kind of baked into them, melted and imagined and visualized. So go ahead and pull out those goals and intentions again, and you'll see how what Claudia is going to share with you will support you in moving them further, even faster, and something that feels really good. So go ahead and do that. And then also on Tuesday, we have our members only coaching and collaboration call. So if you're not yet a gold member, you want to make sure you do that because that is a robust conversation. And then we've got networking throughout the month. Be sure to visit womensprosperityNetwork.com, become a member, and check out what we have coming up for you in our upcoming events. So with that, I get to introduce you to Claudia Rocafort, who I've known for 5 or 6 years.
It's actually even more now. It's going to be 8 years, Nancy, since we first met.
Wow. And it's so funny how that happens because there were the 2 lost years where everything kind of blended. So we've known each other for 8 years, and we started really working together about 2.5 years ago. Claudia Rocafort is an executive coach, a communication consultant, and an actress. And I'll get her to share a little bit about that during today's conversation. She works with high achievers and people on a mission to clear what's in the way of attaining their goals so that they can maximize their results in life. As an executive coach, business coach, ICF certified life coach, and communication consultant, Claudia has trained leaders since 2006. Also, during her years as a single parent, let me just go ahead and fix that noise. I'm not sure where it's coming from, but I'll figure it out. During her years as a single parent, juggling 3 careers, she learned to empower herself with time management techniques and organizational tools, which she now teaches to her clients to turn their soft skills into power skills. She also has over 30 years of acting experience on stage and in front of the camera, and she teaches public speaking skills. Her most recent class was called Glow Like a Pro, which got rave reviews. And she teaches you all the tools you need to deliver powerhouse presentations. You can well imagine single parent juggling 3 careers, being a coach for the past 16 years, while she's also an actress and also in real estate, all as a single parent. This woman has learned how to tap into her zone of genius to have the biggest impact. So I'm grateful that you're here to share it with us today, my friend.
Thank you so much, Nancy. It is my pleasure to be here to share with you always. So
love it.
Yes.
So I want to dive into the topic, and then we'll kind of backtrack a little bit of how this came about for you. So when I hear living in my zone of genius, it sounds so delicious, and I have glimpses of experiencing it, but maybe not always.
Of course. And the not always comes from perhaps you have glimpses and moments when you're using all the tools for your zone of genius, but not necessarily living from it. And that's the key. That's what we want to uncover today. What is it that it means to live from that zone of genius? And so,
Mhm.
yeah, if we back
Take
up.
it away. We're ready.
Yeah.
We're listening.
Okay, beautiful. Thank you. So if we back up a little bit, let's really consider what it means to live from that zone of genius. And this topic, the phrase was coined by Gay Hendricks in the book The Big Leap. And it's a book that changed my life. It's actually a book that Nancy recommended to me about a year and a half ago when I was trying to up-level my business and looking at how I wanted to grow. And she said, I think this would be really beneficial for you. And it was magic. Not only was it magic, it's changed the way that I'm working and living from my zone of genius. It helped me find another layer, another level. And that's because our zone of genius can shift and change as we evolve, as we progress, as we find new ways that we love to grow and to be of service.
Mhm.
So what is that zone of genius? What does that mean, right? That zone of genius is that place where we are effortlessly flowing. That's pretty amazing when you feel that the work that you're doing is easy, that you're loving what you're doing, that you are excited about what you're doing. You get a feeling of motivation and creativity just starts to flow through you.
Yeah.
And this,
I often say, and this came about to me a while ago when maybe I was working on something either for Women's Prosperity Network, maybe this conference or my book, and I was up until like 1 o'clock in the morning. And what I discovered is when you're inspired, you're not tired. Like that energy feeling can really be an indication, right?
yes. Well, you feel like the Energizer Bunny. I call it the Energizer Bunny.
Oh, yeah.
Like you can keep going and going and going. There is something magical that happens when you are using your talents and you're doing what you love, combined with something that has a meaning for you on a larger scale, that makes you feel that you are living your purpose and that it has meaning for others, that you're serving somehow. And this greater feeling, this greater than you, is an aspect of that zone of genius to me, that is that summit of, wow, I was able to combine what I innately bring, those gifts that I was born with that mission that I came to fulfill somehow. And it's magical.
It's magical. And as you describe that, like this, top of the mountain, feeling comes about, right? Isn't that what we all want? Is to be of value, to feel inspired, to be of service, to enjoy the process and all the abundance and prosperity that comes along with it. And I'm so grateful that you are sharing in today's conversation, because sometimes it can feel elusive.
Yes.
Right? Like, or other people can have it, but I can't.
Well, that's the key. And the beauty is that everybody has it. Everybody has it. Every single human being brought a uniqueness about them, a whole world of their own experiences and their own way of sharing that message or that talent or that ability or that vision or that perspective. And in the measure in which we begin to follow our bliss, what brings you joy? You start to connect more and more. And that, what brings you joy, connected with, what am I good at? Connected with, what do people need? And how can I help them solve it?
There was a trifecta there.
Yes.
So I see a triangle.
Exactly.
And these three things coming together in the middle is the zone of genius. So if I got this correct, it's what brings you joy, what brings you bliss, what am I really good at, and what do people need?
And one more, it's more like a diamond.
Oh, of course it is.
Of course it is, right? Then that pyramid or triangle. Then if you add what can you get paid for? What abilities do you have that you can get paid for? combined with what people need, right? And what you love to do and what you're good at.
Mm.
And
So,
when you combine that, boom, that's when the genius happens.
all right. So she's already dropping golden nuggets for what we're looking at. And what's coming up for me is I see too many entrepreneurs struggling and suffering and trying to make it happen and doing this and it doesn't work and that and it doesn't work. And I'm guessing if we measure our activities and hold it up to this diamond, we'll find the answers.
Yes, definitely. And so the key, this is the big moment. This is the key. When you can look at your life from this perspective and start to really question what you love, what you're good at, what you enjoy and can do for hours, where is that zone of bliss that somehow serves others and that people need? It might take a little time. And what ends up happening is that sometimes we have fears, of course, of stepping up into that genius. We can live from our zone of excellence. And what's the difference? In our zone of excellence, right, we are doing the things that we know that work, that we do usually enjoy, that we're fairly good at, and somehow that's creating a certain amount of abundance, but we get comfortable with that status quo. That zone of genius takes a little more effort. And it takes a leap of faith. It takes jumping into that courage of what would I really love to do? Money wasn't the question. If taking that risk of maybe I'm really good as a communications consultant, but I want to take the leap into being a coach and spreading this message worldwide. That's kind of scary, right? That means really stepping into bigger shoes. And it comes with other things that maybe scare me, that maybe make me feel like that could be a burden, that could be something that I might be outshining somebody in my family. Now, Gary Hendricks talks about 4 things that could be stopping you from that zone of genius. And I know that you're familiar with this because you've read the book.
Well, and I just have to tell you, this morning in my journaling, I mentioned earlier that one of the things I did today was at the beginning of every month, I want to make sure that I am connected with my goals and my desires and intentions. And I got some big leap ones for this year for myself. So as I was journaling this morning, I was like, ooh, I guess that's one of my hidden barriers showing up. So being aware of these things that Claudia is about to share will support you in moving forward. And I want to say this, having a coach, mastermind, mentor, somebody who can see things that you can't see because you're too in it is really essential to growing to that next level.
Yes, exactly.
All right.
And that's why we love doing what we do, Nancy, right?
Yes.
It is. For us, it's our zone of genius. When I realized that now what I'm working on now and precisely helping other people find their zone of genius, I get goosebumps. I could cry. I'm so happy. I can see the change that it's created for some people that I've worked with. And there's just this tremendous joy. And if I may, for example, I'd love to share the story. I was working with a client and friend who happens to be here today and happens to be a member of WPN, and that's Rita Thomas. And Rita has this amazing ability to work with automation and to create your marketing so that you can basically make money while you sleep, right? And she had this great package, her ultimate package that she's learned to put together through Level Up and through WPN. And she had sort of those opt-ins and the lower packages that would help people get to know and trust what she does. But there was something in that middle ground. I said, Rita, what's your moneymaker? What is it that people really, really need? We need to clarify the language. Let's start there. Let's clarify the language of what you do and what you provide so that people can understand it, because technology can be a little daunting for those of us who really didn't know about funnels or don't know how to put together a keep campaign, right? And we started looking and we created a list of all these things that we talked about, what she loved to do, what she was very good at, what she's been paid for, what people need, and how she could solve the problems or the pain points of those customers. And we came up with this, what I think is kind of the zone of genius. It's becoming her moneymaker. It's become that product that's unlocking her abundance. And it's called the Fun Fast Funnels. And I see her working from this place, and it's shifted everything. There's such joy. There's magic. She's working at it. There's an energy that is amazing. And it's a product that is, I think, going to explode.
Yeah, it already has on so many levels. And so noticing, and really, this is where having a coach or a mentor comes into place, is asking the questions that will have you see what you can't.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And that's the key. And you continue to get coaching. I continue to get coaching because we want to continue to grow. And as we're evolving and as we start to reach some of these goals, right, we keep expanding and we keep growing and we keep sort of setting the bar a little higher. And that's a beautiful thing of our growth. So in order to be able to do that, this is the key. Whether you think you're basically already living your life purpose or not, or maybe you haven't really found it and taken that leap of faith, or you feel, yes, I am living in my zone of excellence. I'm good at what I do. I love what I do. I've found my messaging. I've found the way that I can communicate my products and my services. But I've grown in the last year, and maybe I haven't reconnected and checked whether my products and services are aligned with my zone of genius right now.
That's good.
Right? So, for example, I'm going to use a beautiful example, actually, the People Skills Academy. I love how you created the People Skills Academy. You have these moments of genius constantly. They just pour out of you.
I got to keep up with them get a bigger team. I'm building my team right now for that.
Exactly. I love it. Right? So yes, sometimes we realize we have those moments of genius, and then we realize we have most of the things in place for them, but maybe we need to expand and step into a larger team to be able to support this now zone of genius product, which is the People Skills Academy. And it brings together what you love to do, what you're incredibly good at, being able to empower people with those communication skills and with those power tools, right? They're power skills. We call those power skills. All those soft skills that we want to empower that will help us be greater leaders and greater communicators and better at doing whatever it is that we do. So that People Skills Academy is one of those examples of zone of genius products. And also how it needed to expand or grow, perhaps, to then come back, revamp, and be in its zone of genius again.
Which is what the cycle that it's going through.
Exactly.
And in that process of growth and expansion, and I want us to circle back to these hidden barriers, because I believe there'll be an opportunity for some ahas for the audience here.
Yes.
And I've learned this from working with you, learning from you, is whenever it occurs that you say you want something, but it's just not happening, and you can really feel that you want it, but you don't understand like what's going on here. Yeah. That's where taking a look at these hidden barriers, or looking if your products are truly aligning with the way you've evolved.
Exactly.
Right? Because we can tend to just do the same thing over and over again, but that doesn't necessarily take us to that next level.
Precisely. So this is then that moment of looking in, and where the deep work and the courageous work has to happen. Because yes, we love this idea of the zone of genius, and it is easy once you get there, when you're in that flow. But getting there can be a little challenging, right? Because there are hidden barriers. There are limiting beliefs. There are family stories we grew up with. There are different things that may be standing in the way of us being able to feel comfortable and courageous enough to really take that leap of faith. And one of those things is to feel fundamentally flawed. I'm not good enough. How could I step into that zone of genius when I'm no master? I don't have enough knowledge.
And that problem, that core issue for so many, I feel that it constantly is put in front of us due to the high visibility on social media, comparing ourselves to others. And like, I notice that it comes up in me, like I'll be doing a scroll, right? And I'll see somebody in my field who's having this great success. And while I'm happy for them, I'm also like, well, how come that's not me? Right. So, and that's just a natural thing that comes up. The key is not to get stuck there.
Exactly. And at the end of the day, your zone of genius is never going to be, let me be the best Oprah.
Right.
It's never going to be Oprah. Right. It's not going to happen. It's never to mold yourself or to attain something outside of you that is not you. It's really about stepping into the best version of you that you can. And I want everybody to really let that sink in for a moment. Feel that. God, I could cry just sharing that, because it took me so long to believe it, to trust it, to believe that what I had gained was valuable for other people, that my life experience could be of service. And it took me a very long time to get here and to step into and to bring this subject up, which has been a passion of mine for a long time, because I always felt something calling me and always felt that there was somehow a greater purpose, a way of being.
I want to pause for a moment, because Mary Jane said in the chat, I'm verklempt. I got goosebumps in this moment, and everyone listen in. And for those of you that are on video and can see the webinar, oftentimes we look at leaders or people who are successful and they've made it, as we would, just whatever description we have around all that or meaning to it. And we think they don't have doubts. They didn't go through that journey. Oh, look at how easy it must be for them. But the truth of the matter is, we all become challenged or confronted by the same type of things. And what Claudia is teaching us today is how to rise above those, to be that full expression, to not let your fears and doubts and comparisons block you from being the fullest expression of you uniquely. Like, yes. It's beautiful.
And it is beautiful to let all of you shine. And I think part of this comes with age, when we can step more comfortably into our own skin and say, this is me, take it or leave it, what you see is what you get. Right?
Yeah.
And be able to, I think, honor that we are unique, that we have good, bad, pretty, and ugly. Everybody does. and that our life experience is valuable. Everything we've been through, the hardships, the heartaches, the great moments, the successes, they've all been a factor to get us exactly to where we are.
Yeah. And, I promised them we would talk a little bit about your career as an actress. And it came up in this moment as I'm thinking about, how do you get good at rejection? Like actresses. And that's one of the fear of being fundamentally flawed. I'm not good enough as an actress. as an entrepreneur, you're constantly putting yourself out there. So how do we build the strength, the inner strength to not let that stop us from moving forward or interpreting a no as you're not good enough for that role or that client, or like that's really what's gets in the way of a lot of people.
Definitely. I have to think of it a little bit as building resilience, right? Kind of like a rubber band. We need to try to stretch and see how far we can go and pull that rubber band. And part of that taking no or rejection, it was hard. I realized I've auditioned for projects. I auditioned for Lord of the Rings. Oh my goodness. I would have died to play in Lord of the Rings, right? Hard. But it's funny how the auditions that I wanted the most, I tended to somehow flop the worst because I wanted it so badly. I was so nervous. I'd get so much more in my head rather than learn to be in my heart and connect just with the here and now, the moment, and offering my best.
Oh, so good. So good.
Allowing it to flow through me.
When one of my mentors years ago said the key to success, and I've heard others say this as well, the key to success is to enjoy everything you're doing along the way. Like you've got to enjoy interviewing people. For me, I've got to enjoy writing. I've got to enjoy putting funnels together and being with people. Like you will not have success if you don't like what you're doing along the way.
Big time.
Right?
Yes. And something that you just inspired me to connect with. Also, you will not have success if you're not taking every opportunity to put it out there. Own the room. I have no idea whether everyone's going to book the job or not. It doesn't matter if I book the job. Stop thinking about the end in that moment. In that moment, the here and now, when I'm making that presentation, when I'm doing that audition, can I live this moment and this truth as fully as possible?
Ooh, that's it.
I do that, right? Yeah. Then it'll flow through me. Then I'll be in the present moment, fully enrolled, involved, and completely, I'm getting goosebumps, completely in that zone so that my genius can happen.
It doesn't happen when you're thinking about contingencies and results and the things, specific attachments to the way it has to be.
Exactly.
Everything, what I'm hearing is we all have unique talents and abilities. Just drench ourselves in those, deliver them to others. And have the framework and structure, like we talked about, pricing, funnels, and you want to have all those pieces in play. But in the moment of delivery, just be there. And that applies if you're giving a presentation, if you're having a conversation about perhaps enrolling someone into one of your programs, if you're speaking with a company executive on bringing your work into their business, like just be fully present in your giftedness in that moment without being attached to whether you get the job or not.
Exactly. Let go of the outcome.
Yeah.
You can have the vision of the goal in mind. Yes. That's always going to be that GPS, that anchor to windward, that lighthouse that keeps us, in the middle of the night in the right direction. Yes. But there's a beautiful saying that a dear friend of ours says, Birch Smith Lyons, trust and allow and don't ask how.
Yes.
Right?
Yeah. Oh my
God. Moment, you gotta trust and allow and let it come through you.
My friend, time flies when we're together. That's the other thing about living in your zone of genius. Time just will go so easily, right? So I want to, as always, open up for questions and comments from the audience. And I know you've got a couple of things to support us in moving forward. One of them is a workshop on this zone of genius. So could you talk about that first?
Absolutely. So I'm offering two things. I'm doing a masterclass, which will actually take this subject much deeper. And I'm offering it to everybody who's here and at WPN for a very special price. It's only going to be $27. And for everyone who's sharing, it's a masterclass about living from your zone of genius. We're going to go a little bit deeper and look at more tools to actually be able to do that. And then I'm also going to be doing a workshop eventually in March, which is going to be a deep dive. If you want to look at how to apply all of these things to your life, to your business, to your products, that's when we're going to do that. And we're going to do that deep dive to align your life purpose and your zone of genius with your products, with your offers, with your language, whatever it is that you need.
Magic.
Thank you.
Tell me about the master class. When is that? I know it's $27. Thank you for that gift. And a little bit about what's going to happen for us at the master class.
Absolutely. So the masterclass is February 15th, and we're going to start looking at these things that I was talking about, finding that diamond, right? We're going to start identifying the things that you love to do and what's in the way of you actually doing them. So we started talking about the barriers that are in the way. We haven't been able to complete that. So I'm going to share that very briefly. It's finding that fundamental flaw. It's that maybe I don't feel good enough. The other one is a sense of disloyalty or abandonment. Am I being disloyal to someone or abandoning the people that I love by stepping into my greatness? Or will I be abandoned by them? These fears really, for me, that was a big one. I always had that feeling. My friends used to always tease, if you become an actress, we'll never see you again. If you become an actress, you'll not be our friends. And
it's a cliche that happens. Oh, you'll forget all about us. Remember the little people.
Exactly.
Like, it's a message that's been ingrained into us. And I don't think most of us realize how that could be tamping us down.
Well, it stops you from feeling free to shine your light, because the fear and the innate message that's coming in is people are going to leave me.
Right.
People I love are going to leave me if I get good at something, if I really go out there and do this. And boy, for a little kid with abandonment issues, that was pretty harsh. It took a long time, a lot of working and clearing through that.
Yeah.
Right? So it's taken a lot of work also for me personally. And that's what I want to share and invite everybody. Be courageous and take a look within. It's okay. It's really the place where we can begin to clear these things for ourselves, because the moment that we can become aware of them is the moment we're ready to release them.
That was good. Another golden nugget dropping in. When we become aware of them, then we can release them.
Exactly.
All right. So being fundamentally flawed, being disloyal or abandoned. And then there's another one.
The belief that success brings more burden, right? If I make more money, are people going to be attracted to me for the right reasons? Or am I going to need to find somebody to help me manage the money? Will I be able to trust somebody to help me do that? Am I going to be a burden to others if they feel comfortable with me just playing small? So there's so many aspects here that also integrate with family dynamics. And one of the beautiful things that Gay Hendricks says is when you start looking at these things, right, go at it with a sense of wonder rather than a feeling of blame. There is no place for blame here.
That's really good.
Blaming my family or my mother or myself or anything. It's really about, wow, I didn't realize I was holding on to that. Ooh, okay. I just got to see another aspect of myself. Now, am I willing to let that go? Am I willing to grow out of that? Am I willing to create a different story for myself?
Good. All right. So we got 3 now.
And the last one, which is the crime about shining.
Oy, oy, oy.
right? And when you have brothers and sisters, you really can really feel this one.
Yes, or partners and all of that. Yeah.
Yeah. So it could be a partner, it could be a spouse, it could be a sibling, right? Don't outshine your little sister. Don't make her feel bad, right? There's all of these hidden stories that somehow can hold us back. And for me, one of that was the know-it-all. People treated me and kept telling me, oh, yeah, you just know it all. And I kept feeling bad because I realized, well, if I want to share this, I'm excited. I want to pay it forward. It's not about, hey, let me show you how much I know. It was more always of that excitement of wanting to share. And still to this day, I have to control myself and remind myself, take it slow, give other people an opportunity, stop, listen, because I get excited and I want to share so much. And the response I received at times was, nobody likes know-it-all.
Mm-hmm.
You remember Hermione in in
Yeah, Harry Potter.
Harry Potter, exactly. I could so relate to Hermione. I was like, me. Oh, I have an answer. Oh, I want to share.
Yeah. And as we get older, so there's two levels of that. I think there's this crime of outshining, as it's referred to in the book, could hold you back from shining your light because you somehow think your light is going to dim someone else's, and that's not how light works,
Exactly.
right?
Yes.
And as we step into next levels of leadership, right? When we're first, this was my experience, first coming up in leadership and growing my brand and developing my business, I needed to shine and I needed to share my views and my opinions, and I still do all of that.
Yes.
When it comes to leading a team, there's a nuance to letting other people shine, which makes you even stronger as a leader.
Yes.
So, but that's very nuanced and
I love that you brought it up. Let's touch upon it for a moment, because once you've discovered and you're embodying and living in that zone of genius, something magical happens, which is you get it. It's kind of like, oh, now that you've discovered the truth, you can't undiscover it.
Mm-hmm.
And now you have the ability to guide others to do the same.
To shine. Beautiful. All right. Well, we got hands raised. We got people that have questions and comments to share. I want to make sure we get to them. And if you are loving today's conversation and you are feeling called to that next level, which we all have one, register for Claudia's class, February 15th. The link is in the chat, and the link is, for those that are here on the phone, Claudia Rocafort coaching.com/zone-of-genius. Congratulations, Carrie's registered, Patricia's in, love it. So I got the link in the chat, but I know we've got lots of people here on the phone. Claudia Rocafort, which is ROCAFORT, Claudia Rocafort coaching.com/zone-of-genius. Join her for this class.
Yes.
This will change your life. We're all looking for that next thing. And I would say to you, learning technology, getting all those things, taking that next class that's going to show you how to do something, very good. But without the foundation of who you're being in the how you do something, it may not work. This is key. Love it. All right, let's open up for questions and comments. First up, let's go to Laura Barker.
Good morning, Claudia and Nancy too, and everybody on the call here. Holy cow. I know I'm registered. I'm registered. I'm all in. I can't get enough of what you have to share. So shine, girl, shine, right? I mean, that
Awesome.
is what it's about. And I love your zone of genius. And you have displayed it for us in every word you've spoken this morning. Trust, allow, and don't ask how. That to me summarizes this. And you have so many zones of genius. And I think this is one that many people may not know you for, which
Mhm.
is the mindset blocks, right? And being able to work through those. I have watched your work or the results of your work with Rita Thomas.
Mm.
I've been a part of the beta of the Fun Fast Funnels, which is OMG, what a value, right? And you helped her in all of that with the pricing and understanding, but also the mindset. And I've just watched her just take off, and I love it. So I can't thank you enough. Regarding a question, I guess I would say, you know, this zone of genius concept, right? How did you kind of realize this was your gift? That bringing people into their zone of genius was your zone of genius, right?
Great
Yes.
question.
It's a great question, Laura. Thank you. I get goosebumps. I mean, I could talk about this for hours on end at this point. I discovered the principle of Ikigai, which is a Japanese principle that basically does combine these questions. And it's a beautiful, it was an eye opener for me. It was huge. And I've been using it in my coaching for years. And that's why I say as we evolve and as we grow, different things align differently. And it wasn't until I read The Big Leap that it dawned on me that that's one of the things that in my coaching is unique, that I use this principle, that I ask these questions, that I work with my clients to look at, are they happy? Are they doing what they love? Are they being of service? Are they fulfilling the dreams that they want to? And if not, what's stopping them? Clearing whatever's in the way of that is the way that I've spent the last 15 years coaching C-suite executives and entrepreneurs to help them level up and to overcome whatever fears. And at first, it was just the fears of public speaking. At first, it was the fears of how do I work with a team and manage a team, and if I'm an introvert or if I'm shy, or how do I get up in front of the stockholders meeting and it's 2,000 people. So when I started to look at all those fears and limiting beliefs in the way, and these principles that I was using, it started to come together. But it wasn't until I read The Big Leap that all of this went aha for me. And now I feel like it makes total sense. This is what I love. And when I see the results in those around me, I get even more excited and feel more of service and feel more empowered to share these tools and look at how we can be of service, how they can be of service to somebody else.
Gosh, that's fantastic. Now I have a new book to add to my list, The Big Leap. Thank you.
So good. You're going to love it. All right. Thank you so much, Laura. Great question. And again, go to Claudia Rocafort coaching.com/zone-of-genius. Let me open up for our next caller, which is Carrie. You can go ahead and unmute yourself. Or maybe you can't. Carrie, are you able to unmute yourself? Let's go to Dr. Roz.
Once again, good morning, good morning, good morning. Claudia, my love, you are loved, appreciated, celebrated, valued, and most cherished. Can you imagine, for those of you who know Stephen Covey, and reading The Big Leap at the same time, The Eighth Habit, and The Big Leap at the same time, because Stephen Covey talks about those metastasizing emotional cancers. And the two that I hear from what the big leap was talking about is definitely the comparison and the criticizing of ourselves, those sabotaging triggers that come about. But what more than the power of community, collaborative intelligence that, we call her our big sister. Nancy would, she has a discernment, and then she would recommend that book to you to bring out even more of your shine. And now, the creation of workshops and webinars. And the thing about it, we're here for our businesses, but yet we don't want to miss just being able to handle the little things before the business. Like, are you folding up the clothes? Are you doing your time blocking? Are you doing this just for your vertical alignment to understand the unctionings of the horizontal of what we do to be able to serve others? So, girlfriend, just want to say I love you and thank you so much. I'm not sure, we're in ice over here and my internet's been in and out. So I will see you. My little deal for your class was looping, so I'll probably just have to reboot or try and do it on my phone. But I look forward to that. I pray your son and you are doing well. So thank you for allowing me to have the mic. Miss Nancy, I yield the mic, but no, I always have a voice because of Wow Wednesday.
You do. Thank you so much, Roz. You're amazing.
Yes.
So good. All right, let's thank you, Roz. Let's go next. Carrie, if you can unmute yourself, you're more than welcome. I see your hand is raised. Otherwise, we'll go to Rita Thomas.
Well, thank you. Thank you. I feel like it's almost been, it's just such an honor to be mentioned in this great space today by the great Claudia. And I just can't tell you enough what she's done for my business. And everyone listening on the call today, find a way to get into Claudia's space. This masterclass coming up is perfect way to do it. Any way that you can be near her and hear her and let her guide you and discover your zone of genius. I just have to tell you, I stumbled around kind of in the dark with my message for a couple years. I had the automation. I knew it would help people. I knew they needed it. They knew they needed it. And it was me not saying the right thing to them, not presenting the right solution to them that was keeping me back. And, Nancy has told us over and over, if you don't help your client, you're leaving them in their pain. And that was really weighing on me as well. So when I found Claudia, I felt like I got wings to fly.
That was beautiful.
I love you, my friend, and I'm so excited about all the beautiful things that you're doing and you've developed to be of service. It's awesome.
That was so good. Thank Rita. Kudos and kudos to this whole process that brought together unveiling and releasing and flying with your zone of genius, because you've now helped so many more people.
Yes, so true.
Yeah, beautiful. Thank you, my friend, for being with us today and flying.
Yes.
All right. Let's go to next up. We will do Pastor Darlene Thorne. Your line is open.
Well, good morning, everyone. Oh my goodness. You know how you wake up and your eyes are open and you're real excited about the day, right? Well, this to me was like waking up again. Because you truly open our eyes to see ourselves again for the first time.
Yes.
And that's so powerful that we get to see ourselves. Remember, there was a commercial, I think some kind of cereal commercial that says, have it again for the first time. And that's what I feel like happened today. I know who I am, but I'm seeing myself for the greatness that I carry, all that I really embody. Once again, because of the things you shared, it's like the things you always knew, but then they're being like brought out of the closet, taken out of the closet, dusted off, shined up, and put on the shelf to display for the world to see. This has just been amazing. So I've signed up for the class. I'm so excited. And I just wanted to tell you, Claudia, thank you for what you do, because so many of us have been blessed by what you share, and that you've shined and giving us the ability to shine also. Nancy, you know, you rock. You are amazing. And I love y'all so much. I didn't have a question. I just needed to share that this morning, because that was my eye opener today, to get out and shine. And like Laura Barker said, I didn't want to repeat what she said, but it was just what she said. Trust, allow, don't ask how, because it's not up to us to figure out how. It's up to us to say yes and to walk it out. So thank you for an opportunity to share this morning. I love y'all so much.
Thank you for that. I'm covered in goosebumps and my cup runneth over. Thank you, Pastor Darlene.
That was beautiful. Get to wake up again. Woo. Yes. And there's more. Register for the class. ClaudiaRocafort.com / ClaudiaRocafortCoaching.com /zone-of-genius. Lori Hunter says this is indeed a Wow Wednesday. And she also wants to know, will you have replays for the class? Because she wants to do it, but she can't make it live.
Yes, I will definitely have replays. So if you are interested, sign up. Now, I may do a second class, so I can send you the replay. And if you were not able to attend, but you registered, you can possibly come live for the second class when I have the second class. So just sign up. Let me know that you're interested, and we can definitely work something out so that you can get the value of this as well.
Yay, she's doing a happy dance. So am I. Am I a happy dance in my seat? All right, we should have time for one more caller. Mary Jane Charles.
Good morning. Can you hear me now?
Yes.
Beautifully.
So you speak of Ikigai. I've been working with Rhonda Farrell, and it's been fascinating to do that journey and discuss all of the possibilities. And this is just folding right into this, Claudia, your class, for which I have signed. And so I moved last week. It was like the perils of Pauline. I even drove my own U-Haul truck.
Wow.
I have pictures to
Look at
prove.
you, girl.
Oh, yeah. I was hot mama with my Paris ball cap on. It was hilarious. To mention the day before, life kicks in. My molar disintegrated the day before I took the trip. My cat got very sick. I mean, I was like, what is happening here? But you just have to move. And you open a box and you find things you've never remembered that you owned. And so it is such a parable story to what you're doing. Just keep opening the boxes. Oh, I haven't seen this in a long time. And I own, I thought I was pretty good at decluttering. Forget it. I look like a professional hoarder. It was crazy. Long story short, I have so much to focus on, but I have so much to be thankful for. I have Rita, I have Claudia, I have Rhonda and Nancy and Trish. I mean, it's like, who's going to win the Super Bowl? Because we're all professionals. And
what a team.
We're a team. And then for those who you just have to keep kicking and keep yourself in shape, because you don't know what you'll be called upon to do. So we're all cheerleaders, and we've got a band, and I'm signed up and I'm ready to go.
Woohoo.
This is Inga here. Can
Badly at this point, but it works.
Love it. So good. And kudos to you, girl, driving that U-Haul, getting through challenges and keeping on going. Inga, I see you want to share something, so give me a
Yes,
second.
okay, I just wanted the links again.
Oh, the link. Okay. So thank you, Maria Jane. Timing is perfect. The link is Claudia Rocafort coaching.com/zone of genius.
And I'd like to share a little gift that I have for everybody, just for being here and for showing up and for committing to yourself and to your growth. I want to share a free guide, and it is my conscious communication guide. It's what I usually share with clients when we start working together. And it's everything that you need to look at to turn that soft skill into a power skill.
Nice.
And yes. So I would love to. I'm going to share that in the chat as well. I think, oh, you put it in there already. I love it, Nancy. You're so prepared.
I got it. Because one of the things I love to do is to shine a light on others.
Yeah.
So like that, people tell me, "Oh, you're so good at doing interview." I love it.
Yeah.
It brings value, and I love to be of service, and it helps other people, and it helps me. So there's that ikigai diamond, right?
Exactly. Exactly. Yep.
Awesome.
I hear you. I love it too.
So let me share with everyone where you can get the free guide. And again, it's at Claudia Rocafort coaching.com/conscious communication. So Claudia Rocafort coaching.com/conscious communication gift. I missed that the first time. So it's conscious communication gift. So head over there, and I'm also going to recommend, Claudia, give your email address out just in case, people need more from it, because you've got so much to give.
Thank you, Nancy. Absolutely. My email is claudia@claudiarocafortcoaching.com.
Pretty easy.
Pretty easy.
Awesome.
And I personally I'm very old school, and because I love communication, I tend to prefer texts and calls. I'm an old school girl. I like to leave voicemails. I like to place that phone call. So feel free to reach out to me and call me, text me. Let me know if you have questions about the class or about the workshop coming up and the deep dive, and whether this is the right thing for you. Please, please, please call me. We can always look at what fits you the best and what suits your needs. So my number is 786-876-8004.
Got it.
Yes.
So I put that phone number in the chat. I don't know that I'm going to put it on the Facebook. Do you want it on Facebook also?
Sure.
Okay.
Okay. Yes.
So one more time.
786-876-8004.
Got it. All right. Beautiful. Claudia, thank you for filling my cup today, as well as the cup of everyone who is here. You have truly poured into us. And I am grateful for all we get to do together, be together, play together, and create.
Thank you, Nancy, for having me. It's a pleasure and an honor to share the space with you. And thank you, my friend, for your magic and your zone of genius that affects us all and helps us all step up to our greater selves.
My pleasure and my purpose.
Yes.
May all of you have the joy of saying that every day for what you get to do, that it's your pleasure and your purpose. And to quote Florence Shin, that you work with wonderful people in wonderful ways for wonderful pay. Have a beautiful day, everyone. Thank you, thank you, thank you. And we'll see you again next week for another Wow Wednesday. Bye, Claudia. Thanks, everyone.
Bye, Nancy. Bye, everyone. Thank you. And I hope to see you in the class. So get that free gift and sign up and register and come join us and play some more.
Bye, everyone.
Thank you.
You're welcome.